Can I ask you a question about pizza?
Anything.
So what is, like, this is a debate too. What's Chicago-style pizza?
Ooh.
So Chicago-style pizza is actually 3 parts to that answer.
Yeah.
So when someone asks you what that means, there's tavern style,
Yes.
which is the thin and crispy square-cut bar pies that were born in the 30s and 40s. Okay, that's a Chicago style. There's deep dish, which was started in 1943 at Pizzeria Uno, which at the time was called the Pizzeria, but became Uno's in '55 when they opened up Due's down the street.
I did not know that.
And
that
it
they
was
were the first.
done in a shallow pan, not a huge pan, but it was basically a reverse build. And in New York, they call it upside down. It was dough, cheese, and then sauce and topping.
Yeah.
That cheese protects the bottom layer of dough from getting soggy and soft. But they weren't 8 inches high. That came a little bit later in the 60s from an African-American woman named Alice Mae Redmond from Mississippi. She couldn't get the dough to press out when she started working at Gino's East from the original recipe from Due's. So she added fat to it, added some oil, like a short biscuit dough recipe. That's where we start getting these larger, heftier slices in the mid-60s. And then there's stuffed, which is a third style, sort of a subcategory of deep dish, started in 1971 at a place called Nancy's on the northwest side. And this is a guy, Rocco Palese from Italy, didn't want to do deep dish like everybody else was doing in 71 because Pequod's, My Pie, Lou Malnati's all opened in 71.
Wow.
He's like, I want to do something different. I want to do that Easter pie, that pizza rustica from Italy, which was stuffed with salami, eggs, and cheese. And so instead of that, he would do mozzarella, sausage, or whatever topping, and then a second layer of dough across the top, and then the sauce on top of that. That's the above-ground outdoor pool. That's the boat anchor. That's the Jon Stewart rant people talk about is the stuffed pizza.
Yeah.
It's got that second layer of dough. The problem with that is that when you remember I said with the deep dish, the reason you're putting that bottom layer of dough down is to protect it. Well, with the second layer of dough that's being sandwiched between sauce and cheese, it's always going to be gummy and chewy and soft. It's not going to have that sort of firmness to it. I think that's a major pitfall of that. It's also what I call OBR, optimal bite ratio.
I love that.
It goes against, it defies OBR because it's too much, right? It's a mouthful of cheese, a mouthful of crust. So that started in 71, but then Giordano's, two employees from Nancy's left in like 73 or something, and then opened up Giordano's on the south side in 74. So they claimed to have created stuff, but it was actually created by Nancy's in 71. So those are the 3 Chicago-style pizzas, tavern, deep, and stuffed.